What about March, February 1, the battle of David versus David?
Oh, yeah, David Morrell and Benavidez. Yeah, that's a really good fight. You know, I favor Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? I know Benavidez for years now. You know, I've done camps with Benavidez. Man, me and him sparred like I'm saying our first sparring session was like 10 years ago when he's a young boy, man. But I favor Benavidez, but you can't sleep on Morell. You know what I'm saying? This is a fight that Benavidez ain't have to take this fight. Morell was the one that needs this fight. So for real, like Morell's in a situation where he kind of hit the jackpot. So if he could win this fight, man, he there. Because nobody really was calling Morell out. So that just shows what kind of dog Benavidez is, that he like, all right, whatever, let's go. Let's run it. Bro.
What do you think about a guy? We haven't seen anybody actually poke David Benavidez with the same level of visceralness that he's doing.
Yeah.
What do you think about the way that David Morrell is giving it the way he's getting it?
Listen, I think he waking up a different kind of beast in Benavidez. Because nobody really acts like that with Benavidez, right? But at the same time, it's going to be a fire fight. Like, they both going to clash, man. And it's going to be a matter of who can take it. Because they both going to land shots. I think Morell is the bigger puncher out of the two. But I think Benavidez gets you out there with the volume. So, you know, what's going to win? Is it going to be power or is it going to be volume? That's really what I think it comes down to. Because I don't think Morell is going to be able to match Benavidez' volume. You know what I'm saying? With that, you know, he's punching constantly on top of you, and he don't get tired. So, you know, Morell's definitely going to have to set traps and land some big shots in that fight.
So, you know, in terms of your brother, this is a big fight. A lot of people see it as a 50-50 fight, or maybe his biggest challenge.
No? Fuck no.
Why not?
They've said that a lot of different fights. You know, this guy, my brother has way more experience than this guy, way more stronger. I just feel like, you know, it's just a hype. You know, this guy has his hype, and you can see he's scared. In all these past interviews and these past, you know, face-offs, you can tell that guy's scared. He's not. He talks a big talk, but I can tell by his eyes that he's not about what he talks. You know, so I mean, it is what it is.
How do you see the fight playing out then, based on that, the experience, and you feel that Morell is scared, in your words, maybe a little nervous of this challenge?
100%. I feel like maybe 8 rounds.
8 rounds.
8 rounds, if that. But my brother's gonna take him out. 100%.
How does it look similar to like the Plant fight, the Demetrius Andrade fight?
There's a lot of fights, you know. There's been a lot of fights, you know, and that's how it has to be. You know, fights have to sell. Guys have to, you know, make it sellable. But I feel like, you know, my brother's, dude, he's been fighting since he was fucking 2 years old. You know, 2, 3. He's been sparring the best of the best. They say Morell has power, right? But what about all these other guys that they said they had power? You know, my brother was sparring Triple G when Triple G was his prime, and he was a kid, and he was right there putting in work. So, I mean, all that talk, all this power, all this shit that people say, it don't really mean nothing. When you're in there and you got a game plan, you're gonna go execute it.
What do you make of Morell, like, as a fighter, and people saying like he's like one of these boogeymen because he's so good technically?
Pretty much just said it. To me, he's nothing special.
Yeah.
He's nothing special. I don't see him. How many fights do you have? Like 10 fights, or how many?
9. I think this will be his 10th fight.
Fights. I mean, you can't really say someone's a boogeyman, you know, in the game and fucking this and that when you only have 10 fights. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how he hangs on when he fights my brother.
Yeah, like you said, you know, this is the toughest fight. You know, I believe that David Morrell is a great fighter. You know, he had a really good pedigree in amateur. You know, he's a 2-time world champion. You know, young, strong. A lot of people don't want to fight him, you know, and but, you know, there's levels to this shit. You know, boxing, David, I believe that he's in another level. I think David, you know, is going to stop him maybe like in the 9-10 round. Maybe if he would have just hold on a little bit more like about a year or two. He's a dangerous fighter, though. You know, we're not underestimating him. You know, David's training super hard. David right now is super motivated, mentally, physically, and man, like, you know, now another baby in the way, so he's extra motivated for that. So I see David, man, hitting hard. You know, I mean, he's just out of this world right now. He's super motivated, ready to go.
So Junior told me 8 rounds. You're telling me night 10 rounds.
I just want to be nice to the guy, you know. But maybe
You think earlier?
It could happen earlier, you know. I want to give him a little chance, you know.
I just want to be nice.
I just want to be nice, you know. At the end of the day, like I say, he's a great fighter, good fighter, but he's never been in a fight or atmosphere like this level right now. He's getting nervous right now. He's nervous. He wanted this fight. Now he's talking a lot of shit. He's mad. You know, what the fuck? You know, he should be happy. So we're super motivated. You know, David's super focused. And these are the type of fights that we need. At the end of the day, you know, he has everything to gain. We have nothing to gain out of this fight. You know, we have everything to lose, nothing to gain. You know, but at the end of the day, it's a great fight for the people. People wanted to see this fight, and we're ready. We're ready to put them to sleep.
How do you see that happening, the stoppage? You guys are confident that you guys will get that result against Morell, but why does it come and how does it come?
First of all, you know, he's nervous. He's never been in a stage like this. He doesn't have the experience. You know, he does have a lot of knockouts. He has 12 fights or 11 fights, you know. But yeah, you're supposed to stop all your first fighter. You know, the last one, he didn't look that good, you know. Like I said, there's levels to this. Like I said, you know, it's going to be a tough fight, a very exciting fight for the people, very explosive fight. But David's in another level. He's faster, you know. And I like that he's saying that David's a RoboCop. But he forgot to mention, yeah, he is a RoboCop AI. You know, he's not gonna see those fucking punches coming. You know, David throws a lot of punches, he's very aggressive, and everybody knows what he could do. You know, when he gets his rhythm. So I'm happy that he's thinking that way, because man, he has no idea what's coming to him.
Benavidez and Morell, how intriguing of a fight is that one?
That's 50-50 right there. If anything, 55-45 for Benavidez. I love David versus David. I love everything about the fight. The thing I feel that Benavidez has over Morell is experience, is true strength. You know, both of those guys are big guys, but I think Benavidez is more of the natural 175-pounder.
Yeah, you're like, Morell's such a high-level technical fighter, but Jose mentioned what you just mentioned, like they feel like the experience is gonna eventually show through. Like, I don't know, take me into that, like how experience can trump like talent in technicality like that.
You know what? The thing that I know for this fight, with when you are in a competitive fight that's gonna go 12 rounds, of course you're prepared for the 12. But when you have had that experience of having resistance at different points in the fight, it's nothing new to you. Morell has not had resistance. His fight with Hot Rod, that was a different kind of resistance. That was the resistance of somebody staying away from you, you know what I mean? And him not being able to catch up to him. With Benavidez can bang with him. He's just as fast. He can box with them. And that sort of resistance, it plays a mental game with you, and it becomes a roller coaster ride. David's been on that ride. Morell hasn't. Well, let me say, Benavidez has been on that ride. Morell hasn't.
So based on that, if push comes to shove, you had to pick someone, or at least on paper favor someone, you would favor Benavidez then?
I'm favoring Benavidez, yeah.
Do you think it's a performance like we saw against maybe like Andrade, or actually any?
I don't know.
Like where he overwhelms them.
I don't know. Yeah. I really don't know. This one, I could see 8-9 rounds before something like that could happen to Morell, because Morell's bigger than everybody else. He's taller than everybody else. You know, he's fast. You know, just as fast as everybody else. Probably stronger than everybody else. So I mean, the resistance on both ends it's a beautiful fight.
What's your reaction to David Benavidez fighting David Morell? How do you see that fight?
Bueno, yo creo que sin duda va a ser una pelea muy buena. Pienso que debería ganar Benavidez por su experiencia, porque tiene mucha más experiencia que Morell, entonces creo que es un peleador más fuerte, pero Morell también es un peleador muy muy bueno, entonces sin duda va a ser una gran pelea.
No doubt it's going to be a good fight. I think Benavidez will win because of the experience. I think he has a lot more experience than Morell. And he's stronger, but Morell is good. He's a strong fighter, so no doubt it's going to be a good fight.
Va a ser buena pelea.
Sí. Yeah. You like it?
Sí, me gusta. Sí.
¿Por qué?
Pues Yo creo que los dos son invictos, pues están en la misma empresa, se conocen, saben, no sé, se me hace una pelea muy, muy emocionante.
Both are undefeated. They're with the same promoter. They know each other, so it looks like a very exciting fight.
David Morrell versus David Benavidez. Talk to us about the fight.
Terrific matchup. These two have been going back and forth for quite some time now. Morell has been very, very vocal about wanting to get at David. I'm really looking forward to this fight on 1 February at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. And fans are going to get exactly what they want. Two young guys going at it in their prime, and this is really what it's all about.
And I think that's the one thing when we talk about this fight that all the fight fans are talking about. You hear the pundits, everybody saying it. Prime versus prime, absolute sharpest that the blade can be going against each other. What does that say about the state of things over at PBC?
This is what you want. This is what you want. Two top guys in the same division, giving the fans exactly what they want to see. And I think that it's going to be a war. In my eyes, I see it as a 50-50 fight. And I know some might say, well, why do you think it's a 50-50 fight? Because, one, we know we have definitely seen a lot from Benavidez over the years. When it comes to Morell, we've seen, spots of him. But I really know what he brings to the table. And that's why I think this is going to be a tough fight for both guys. Tough fight for both guys.
We've seen Benavidez just dispose of rival after rival, does a lot of talking, but performs even better on fight night. I've talked to David Morrell several times, and he's mentioned David Benavidez's time maybe at least half of the times that I've interviewed him. David Morrell, what do you think that he brings to David Benavidez that we haven't seen him undergo yet in the ring?
He's a great Cuban fighter from that system. He can fight his butt off. I think that he's a very good boxer, very heavy-handed, and that's something that I think that Benavidez is going to have to be aware of, especially early in the fight. It's going to come down to really who can take the best shot. You know what I mean? Will David be able to inflict the kind of damage that'll slow that locomotive down in David Morrell? And will the other guy be able to take his shot?
How do you see the fight, Abel? Like, describe to me, how do you I know you said 50-50, but
If
like,
it's a
how do
draw-
you see, hold on. How do you see it beginning? How do you see it heating up? And how do you see it ending?
I see Morell controlling the first 3 or 4 rounds. I see David controlling the second, third, and I see them banging it out together in the last third. I see it being a draw or a 1 or 2 point fight, a majority draw, a majority decision. They're two very talented guys, but they don't want to fight the winner of that other fight
Why?
because they don't, in my opinion.
So, with that being said, you expect either a draw or a slim decision win, but you haven't stated who. Who are you if it goes 12 rounds, Abel, who do you think the judges are going to favor and give the fight to?
Benavidez flashiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sometimes, we look at fights and a lot of guys throwing a lot of punches and they're all very fast, and that looks like very effective to us and to the judges. And the other guy may be landing the harder punches and maybe less punches, but the other guy being flashy, I think, kind of sways I think it insinuates that a fight's being won when it may not be. So that's why I think it's a close fight, and I think a lot of rounds are going to be very close. So that's why I say a 1 or 2 point fight or even a draw, I wouldn't be surprised.
Man, now you of me thinking like this fight has the potential to be like the Better Be of Bivol fight.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a fight of the year candidate. I don't think Bivol and Better Be have had the flashiness that this one's going to have. I think this one's going to have a lot more big movements in it. I don't think Benavidez has faced the quality of fighter that this guy may be at one day. Morell may be one day. He's not, hasn't shown us that yet, but he may be. I don't think Benavidez has faced that kind of fighter.
I thought Morell looked really poor last time out, but I do rate him very highly. Oh, listen, I'll take my hat off to Benavidez. Because, we know that's a really good fight, but the general casual fan doesn't. So, it's a ballsy fight. And I think massive respect to him for taking it. It's a great fight. Great fight.
Who do you favor?
From what I saw last time, Benavidez. But leading up to, that was the first time I've seen Morell in the flesh, and I really rated him going into that fight. He didn't impress me at all in that fight. But, it could have been a bad performance, but he's a very good fighter. Very good fighter.
It's tough because I haven't really watched David Morrell fight by fight. I don't, to really see what he has. I seen maybe like one or two of his fights. I was like, okay, he's a big kid. He got some decent speed, but he's a little wild with his punches. That comes with experience, of course, when he'll start tightening it up. Is he tight right now to be able? Because David does have a good. His arms are long. Listen, his arms are long to me. You know what I'm saying? Morell's bigger than me, so he might have long. But when you're throwing punches at him, his arms are so long. It's so tough to hit him, especially if you're coming off wide. You got to really pinpoint the shots with David. I don't know if Morell has that in him. And I'm a sharpshooter, and David was able to with his length, be able to block a lot of the shots I was throwing as well too. So you really got to set him up with some clean walking trap shots.
You kind of described the power of David, but how does it feel to get hit by him compared to other people that have hit you? Is his power like a snappy power or like a thudding power?
Nah, I was telling people. So when I was supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders back in 2019 or whatever, I think it was, and he got caught for the banned substance, and I ended up fighting a guy named Walter Kankwadakwa. He's a Nigerian guy, whatever, I believe. Not too sure. He was a big boy. Not very skillful, but he was like 18 knockouts, 18 and 0, undefeated fighter. Man, blocking his shots, them things hurt. That kid hit hard. He hit harder than David. To my body feeling, David just has kind of like that, overwhelming power. That kind of like a bang, it's it's more like a loud bang. It's like a bang, not like a snap,
like a thud.
But everybody has
a thudding power.
Kind of like not nothing crazy where if I'm blocking it, I'm feeling it. I'm just okay. I'm blocking it. If I got hit a few times with his, and it was just like okay, whatever, cool. And then, but that one shot came out of nowhere, honestly. I was like, I didn't even know how it slipped in there, the way it slipped in there. And, I'm usually, like I said, my dad's always, keep me doing on the thing. My corner was silent because of the drama, But other than that, man, I still thought it was a good fight. I watched back and I was like, that was a good fight right there. Regardless, it was a good fight for boxing, and I want to continue to do that. So I need, everybody to start getting on the same page. It's like, yo, let's get Andre back in the ring with Quinn, Charlo, this, because those are the type of fights that's going to bring the best out of me too. At the end of the day, David was going to bring the best out of me. It just the circumstances, it had me a little bit more on edge and stuff. But I believe that's kind of over with. And I can just get to what I need to get to, and that's getting back. And at the end of the day, that one defeat doesn't change who I am, doesn't change my boxing. I hear certain people out there talking shit because of what? Because they were never 2 divisional world champion, trying to make them 3 2008 Olympian. I go many years without ever taking a defeat, and it's like, what? I'm doing what you guys want. The best fighting the best also. And I've been trying to do that for years. And it took somebody at 26 years old for me to get in the ring with. That should have been Charlo for so many years.
Una pelea muy entretenida, que los dos son jóvenes, fuertes, que van en ascenso, que tienen hambre y sobre todo que va a ser una pelea que la gente no se va a arrepentir de verla, ya sea por PPV o por ir a la arena.
¿Tu peleador favorito para que gane esa pelea?
No tengo peleador favorito, puedo ver un poco ligeramente favorito a Morell, pero puede haber un knockout de cualquier lado, puede ganar cualquiera de los dos. Como te vuelvo a repetir, los dos son jóvenes, tienen hambre y cualquiera de los dos va a dar una gran pelea.
Simple, está nervioso, o sea, tiene miedo cuando el gato se siente amenazado saca las uñas.
It's simple. He's nervous. What does a cat do when it's threatened? It takes out his claws. So that's what he did. He feels threatened. He's intimidated.
To be honest, the reason why I took this fight, and I was, I already had it planned that I was going to take it, but because Morell's been talking a lot, he's been saying that I'm scared of him, this and that, and I think this is just a way of me proving that it doesn't matter who it is, I'm going to get him in the ring sooner or later. And I told people that, and now we're here, February 1st. It's going to be a big fight. I'm very excited. And I'm excited I add that WBA title to my collection of belts.
I have everything for winning Benavidez. I have like the move and dance. I'm fast. I have power. So a lot of people that fight Benavidez have like, the three, have a two, have a one. You know what I mean? So I have everything for winning the Benavidez. So for the win here.
So you say you're able to move, you're able to box,
I
you're
got
able
everything.
to slug, you got every
I
tool.
got good legs, So didn't have to do this. No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
What do you provide that David hasn't seen before? With David having fought so many seasoned guys in the past, what do you have at 11 fights, 11 victories that David Benavidez hasn't seen before?
¿Qué haces vos que David no haya visto nunca en otro oponente?
Man, I told you.
David.
That's it.
I feel like this is going to be my best fight up to date. You know what I mean? And I know I say that every fight, but it's just I'm getting better and better. I'm more experienced. Now I'm physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm at one with myself, and I'm just ready. I'm ready. These are the type of challenges I want. I don't shy away from no fight. If no fight or no fighter. You know what I mean? And that's definitely what I'm going to show February 1st.
Do you think like you break them down like later in the rounds? Like do you catch them early and break them down early like we saw with Andrade?
To be honest with you, I'm going to just put a game plan together and I'm going to just follow my game plan. I don't know if it's going to come early. I don't know if it's going to come late. But I will be trying to knock them out. That's what I do every single fight. I go in there and I just break people down and I beat the shit out of them. It's going to be the same thing.